All right. Yeah, y'all. You know what it is. It's Chaundon, the Bronx Borough President, the Punchline Perfectionist, and you are now tuned in to howsmyrolling.net. Don't go nowhere but that site other than Chaundon.com. Go to howsmyrolling.net too. Stay there. Keep it there.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and, give a brief introduction to who Chaundon is?
Well, Chaundon is a Punchline Perfectionist, Bronx Borough President, repping the Hall of Justice. Been rapping for like 20 years. Started out in the Bronx, went to school in North Carolina. That's when my career started, back at North Carolina Central. Recorded with a lot of legends. I guess that's the wrap up.
So, Chaundon, how did you go about getting that name? Is that your name or?
Actually, I got it from one of my peoples in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, he basically had it as an alias for his rap name. But, like, it kind of, the whole moniker, Chaundon the Back Twister, fit me. And I was like, okay, that fits my personality. That fits my whole style. I just never had the name to my style. I was a nameless style back in, like, the early 90s until I heard the name. And I was like, I need that. And it worked like a charm. A lot of people think Chaundon is my real name, though. That's the funny part.
I mean, it sounds like it could be. That's why I wasn't sure. Yeah. You're from the Bronx. What brought you here to North Carolina? Because industrially, most people would think New York has more going on. Most people migrate to New York to find those opportunities.
Yeah, I went to college in North Carolina, so, like, that was the only reason I came to North Carolina to begin with. So, like, when I graduated high school, I went to a school named Barber Scotia in Concord, North Carolina. That's, like, 10 minutes from Charlotte.
Right.
So, I went to that school for about 3 years, got kicked out, went home, came back. Yeah, it was a long story. We could get into that if you want to. But
yeah, that'd be interesting.
Right. So let me give you the quick summation of how I bounced back and forth, and then I'll get to why I got kicked out. So I went to that school. I did 3 years in there. Then I moved back to New York, and then a friend of mine that I went to Barber Scotia with, he transferred to Central, and he was like, yo, son, you need to come down here. And I was like, why? He was like, yo, the ratio was like 20-1. So I quit my job. I was working at a law firm, and bang, went to Central back in 99. But getting back to the Scotia thing, the reason why I got kicked out, all right. Now, Scotia, that school, I really can't explain it. That thing was like jail almost, right?
Oh, wow.
So it's a Presbyterian school. It's a small school. It had like 485 students. The campus real small, but, it had, a couple of dorm room buildings or whatever. But there was one particular weekend, the resident director had bounced, just left us for the whole weekend. And we was like, because like in that school, you couldn't legally co-ed. Like if you get caught in the girl room or girls in your room, you get caught, that's a $250 fine. Yeah, but like again, it's a Presbyterian school, so they had their old school rules still attached. So one of my friends, he had like a hammer because they had like nailed, well, like kind of like screwed the window shut because the door was locked, but there was a window to still kind of like to crawl through. So there was a big window or whatever. Mm-hmm. So a friend of mine was like, "Oh, fuck that! We're gonna just unhinge this window so we can go ahead and get busy and go see some bras." So as he as he was trying to pry open the window, he was behind. Like I'm sitting in front of the window because we was playing spades. So he was behind me trying to pry the window open. He breaks the window. So I'm like, shit. I get up. We all get up and we move. Then not even 6 seconds later, I hear another glass breaking. I don't know who did it, but they broke the vending machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody got busy. Everybody was going in there stealing snacks. We was hungry college kids. So everybody got busy. Yeah. An hour later, because after I took my snack, I bounced up to my, one of my boys' room, saying to divvy up the snacks and then go about my business. An hour later, I come downstairs. The resident director for the girls' dorm, she's on our side of things and trying to find out what's going on. And then next thing you know, she's pointing at me like, yeah, I know you did it. I was like, did what? I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I pleaded my case, and then she really got beside herself, and she was like, yeah, I'm going to call the cops to take your nigga ass to jail. Mind you, I'm at a black school. I'm like, really? And I was like, all right, whatever, bitch. And I just kept it moving. I went to my dorm and just chilled for the night. Next morning, police is at my door talking about, you got to take you to the station. I'm like, for what? It was like, they broke into the vending machine last night. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And someone was like, yeah, I know you ain't do it, but, protocol. I was like, all right, whatever. We go to the station. Everybody who was in the lobby was in there, but a few basketball players weren't there. I'm like, wait a minute. If you're going to bring us down, you need to bring everybody down. I ain't sick, though. I just made a blanket statement, but I ain't say nobody's name. I was like, all right, whatever. So then they let us go. By the time we get back to campus, the dean was like, you, grab your stuff, go get your bus tickets, time to go home. I was like, wow. Y'all ain't got no proof of who did what. Y'all taking people out? All right, fine. Mm-hmm. And that's the story. So I went home. Yeah, so I got kicked out, went home. They didn't even let me call my mom, but I know I was coming home. So me and, like, 2 other people from New York got kicked out. And I'm like, nobody else got kicked out. But they was like, yeah, them New York niggas. I'm like, wow, okay. I never got in trouble on campus before, but I'm one of them New York niggas. So, boom, hop back on the bus. Then I get home, and then I get a letter in the mail saying I got to come to court on Valentine's Day. Because I got kicked out in October of 95.
Mm-hmm.
The fall 95, I got kicked out in October, and they told me I had to come back Valentine's Day for a court date. So my mother's mad shook. So me and her, we get on the Amtrak, we come down. Then by the time we get to the courthouse, they're like, yeah, since there was a lack of evidence, no witnesses, the charges were dismissed. I'm like, you motherfuckers put my mom through this shit for this? Like, I knew y'all had nothing on me anyway, but for one, y'all let me lose my credits for that semester. I get kicked out for nothing, and then my mom's going to have a heart attack thing. I'm going to get locked up for some dumbass shit in North Carolina. Yeah. So that's my felonious caper.
Well, what made you go to that school in the first place?
I got duped. Okay, see, this is what happened. I senior year, we had, you know how they had to do college trips. So, like, like the church in my neighborhood, put together, did a fundraiser and then got a bus, and then it was like, okay, we'll bring about like 60 students from the neighborhood. We all go down, down south and start looking at schools. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we did all the black college tour. That's what we did. And all the schools at the time, they all looked the same, from Howard to Clark, all of them. Like every black school down the south, they all looked alike, right? And I was like, all right, cool. I like this down south thing. I might go ahead and do that. Because I didn't want to stay in New York because, for one, it's too damn cold. I hate the snow. I hate the cold.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That's the thing about New York.
Yes, I said, let me get a change of scenery real quick. So then at the time, I was going to go to Morehouse because the pastor at the church that I used to go to, like, every once in a blue, he was on the board for the school, and then he was like, I can get you in. And I was like, but, yo, I ain't got the bread for that school. I ain't trying to go there and just do 1 year and that be that. That's like a waste of my time. But then I was like, all right, so at my job, because I used to work in the community center in Hunts Point Ave in the Bronx, the college advisor there, she was like, yo, if you're worried about money and all of this, like, check out this school called Barber Scotia. This one it's a nice school. Now, I took her word for it. I'm like, this is schools in North Carolina. Okay, all black schools are the same. All right. And the application's free, too? Fuck it. I'll fill it out. I didn't even look at the brochure. I looked at nothing. I just trusted that bitch. I trusted her. If I see her again, I'm telling you I'm a scalper. But anyway, so I filled out the application. Boom. Like, a couple of weeks later, I got the acceptance letter. And I was like, all right. And I got accepted to, like, 8 schools. And, like, most of the schools was up north. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'll take this Barber Scotia shit. Because I actually got accepted to Virginia State. I was going to go. The only reason I turned Virginia State down was because I had won Summer Jam tickets. That was the first Summer Jam in New York. The first joint ever. I had won them on Hot 97. And they was like, yeah, you need to come to summer school on June 21st. And I was like, ooh, I can't do that, my nigga. I just won these Summer Jam tickets. That's not going to happen. So I said, I got accepted to another school. Don't worry about it. I'm good. So I turned down college education. I turned down the college education for some Summer Jam tickets. But it was worth it, though, because I met P. Rock. I met Mad, my idols at that time. I already knew what I was going to be. I didn't need a college degree to let me know I was going to be a rapper. I just wanted to go to college because, my sister went. I was, inspired to go. One of my friends, he went to college. He was like 2 years older than me, so I was always on a college campus. Plus, I grew up watching a different world. So I was